Hello, it's Maggie, the Cheshire Crafter here. I don't do much about card making, but I'll be making lots more cards leading up to Christmas. And I haven't shown you how I make my cards that either I use for personal use, I give them to the local charity shops for them to sell. Don't forget, they've already got pre-printed cards that they're obliged to sell. But handmade cards always sell well. Now, unfortunately, some of the cards that sell well are sympathy cards. And I've sold some today and I've realised that I've got not many in my supplies left. So I'm going to make you some more. And I'm going to show you what I do. The cards that I make, I sold on eBay. I can either sell them singularly or in packs of 2. I try to make a very generic card that's suitable for any occasion, any age group, and it will be acceptable for the recipient. These are very sensitive cards that you're making, and I use the same embossing and similar die cut sentiment on the front and a stamped message inside. Now, to start off with, I begin with these. They're Craft UK. These are the ones that I buy at the garden centres, the ones that are shutting down, but you can get these on, you can get them on eBay and get them delivered to your door. So I'm going to start with very simple C6 envelopes, and these are 6x4 basic cards and envelopes, and I'm choosing to use a white pre-scored card. Let's see if you can see that that's pre-scored card and an envelope for that. Now, as such then, nobody's going to be offended by the colour. It can apply for a girl, a boy, sadly babies, and male, female, can't it? I'm going to show you the ones that I've got left in my stock here. And these, unfortunately, I started making these at the beginning of the coronavirus outbreak, when people couldn't get out to the post offices, but they still wanted to send sympathy cards, particularly because you weren't can't get my words out, can I? You weren't be able to meet up with people that were bereaved or give them a hug. And many times you weren't able to attend a funeral either. So I did make a stock of cards at the beginning of that pandemic, and I continue to do today. I'm going to show you what they look like. I do put them in a cello bag, and that was important at the beginning of the outbreak. I needed to say, please wash your hands when you get these, but I have double wrapped them in plastic, a recyclable plastic bag and a recyclable cello bag, so that when I photograph them and put them on eBay and people know that they're going to get them through the letterbox, there's no virus. I've certainly been virus free, fortunately, touch wood, but certainly there is no way that going through the postal system any virus is going to, first of all, no virus is going to survive that postal system. It's going to be killed off by the cold. And secondly, I do say to the recipient, once you've opened them, just wash your hands, and that will overcome any potential worries that anybody might have about passing viruses on. If I will say, if I was ill, I wouldn't be making cards. Simple as that. So this is what they look like. If you can see that obviously says Sympathy. Sometimes my die allows me to put with Sympathy. You're seeing the mirror image of it. And I'm using an embossed rose. This is a Rennie Macintosh rose embossing folder that I've used. And you can see that I've been able to use the same with a blue. Sometimes you're just sending hope. Hope all is going well. Or another design that I've used, just a basic floral with thinking of you. And inside, I either put thinking of you or for you, and I stamp that in black ink. And on the back, I always write handmade for you. I'm going to show you using my Sympathy Big Shot how I make them, if I can video myself doing it. Let's see how I get on, shall we? Right, my embossing folder, this one is by X-Cut, and a very simple floral design would work. This one's a 6x6 design. I don't know who made this, but it means that I'm going to use just the top part, and then this section that looks like a ribbon across the bottom, I'm not going to include this on the 6x4 card. That means in the embossing folder, I've placed it in the middle of the embossing folder over the top. This will be the back of the card that I'm going to stamp, and the embossing design is only going to go on the front. I'm just going to put that through my Sizzix Big Shot, and then I'll show you what that looks like. The machines differ, and how you do with an embossing folder is shown on the instructions for each machine. On this one, it's on the bottom platform, and I've come out with a really well embossed, really nice, crisp and clean on the back. You've got debossed on the back. That's using that embossing folder. Let me show you with the other one. I'm doing the same again. I'm putting the embossing folder around my front page, so that the page I'm going to stamp, that's the back page, is free. This one is a 6x4 folder. I'm going to put it through that way. For this folder, I've just made a mistake on one. If you can see, I've put the card in too far and I've ended up with a crease down one edge, so that's a bit of a reject. What I've done with this one is I've put it so that the pattern comes right up to the edge on both edges of the card. That's better. Now I'm going to batch make these, so I'm probably going to make about 20 of each design. So I had done it wrong. I need access at the top to put the card in, so I've hinged it on the side here. Let me see whether it works. Well, I had 2 reject cards. It doesn't matter, it's just a bit of card, isn't it? Until I got it right. And the way I fixed it is by hinging it. Oh, can I open this now at the bottom? That way I'm putting the card in at the top. That worked. If you haven't got any of this tape, by the way, use washi tape or purple low-tack tape. I'm going to die cut the sentiment, and I'm going to use my little Spellbinders hand cranked machine. I showed you how I used this a few weeks ago. I've got 2 cutting plates, and between the cutting plates I have my die, which is this one. It's from Gemini, which is Crafter's Companion. This is Sarah Davis. It reads With Sympathy. And I'm placing that die, cutting side down, onto a piece of card, sorry about the shine, with a piece of this low-tack purple tape between the cutting blades. And I found, this is the second time I've cut one, and I found I needed to put it through twice. Possibly I needed a shim, but I actually found it a bit uncomfortable putting it through with a shim. I found it easier just putting it through twice. I've used this die very many times, and I get a very good cut with it. Just to get it out of there, if I need to, I'll use my little pokey tool. It comes out of that die beautifully. If you're using the word with, don't forget the little dot. Don't forget the little dot that's called the tittle above the eye. It's really annoying to some people. So I've cut both of those, and I've used silver because I think silver is a very cooling, calm colour against the white, certainly for this type of card. And for the cardstock, I've used either Hunky Dory. I'm sorry, there's going to be a great deal of shine on this. I've used Hunky Dory Miri card, or I bought some metallic card in a pack, 4 sheets. I think I got these for 50p. They were on sale in Hobbycraft. Doesn't matter whose make of card you use, as long as it cuts well. I'm going to use a quickie glue pen to attach my sentiment on the front of the card here. And the reason that I use this is it goes on blue, and as it dries clear. It's clean, it's not visible, and they're cheap and effective. I buy them in packs of 3, and with postage they cost about £10. Now the way that I apply it, I apply little dots of glue. I can see where I've been because at this point they're blue. I don't know if that's going to show up on camera, but I apply dots all the way around, and then as I turn it over and glue it to my card, I use a little bit of wax paper so that I don't pull it off again. It's very easy to stick to your fingers. On the inside, I'm going to stamp a sentiment for you using the VersaFine Onyx Black ink. I keep these nappy wipes that I get from Aldi because they're really good for getting this ink off your fingers. Inky fingers mean that you transfer it onto the card, and nobody likes that, do they? So let's just see if we can stamp that without making a mess. If you get it round the edge of your stamp, like I've just done, just wipe it off. There. And that I think you can see, can't you? It's clear. So it's with Sympathy. By the time I've finished these cards, I'll have made 28, and I may sell them in packs of 2. That might help keep the postage costs down for the buyers, or in individual cards. I'll show you what I've completed at the end. And I think I'll put these on eBay. If I give 30%, which is the profit, eBay and PayPal do the hard work of the accounting and take the money directly from me, from my account, and give it directly to the charity. And because it's coming up to nearly 8 years since my brother died, I'm going to use this to raise funds for MacMillan Cancer Support. My brother was helped by them, and so were the rest of the family. So 28 cards will raise about £20 for them, and it's a good use of my time. I know that these cards will be very well received and much appreciated by the recipients. It's the last card in the world that you ever want to receive, isn't it? And it's not very nice sending them either, a sympathy card, but they do matter. I've been getting my maths wrong all week. The 28 cards I've started to make today will raise £10 for the charity. And I just thought I'd show you a selection and show you what they look like as finished cards. They're all the same on the front and the back, in their envelopes, ready to go. With Sympathy, for you. So sorry, for you. Hugs, for you. Can you see the embossing on that? Hugs, for you. Beautiful shine, isn't there? This one with a purple satin ribbon. Best wishes, just for you. With love, just for you. They're very generic. I sneezed at the end there. That's my card making for today. I hope you'll come back and join me again soon. I'll soon be starting to make my Christmas cards, and I'll probably show you some of the cards that I've made last year and still have in my drawer. I'll use some of those this year too. So for now, this is Maggie with a very generic but quite sad card saying bye for now. Come back and see me soon, won't you? Bye.